If you're producing a record album, how do you make that a top-selling record? Well, first of all, you try to get a #1 hit and then follow it up with other hits after that. Well, that's exactly what Volvo did last year. They had a #1 hit, and that was their Volvo XC90, and it won numerous awards. And now they're following it up with their flagship sedan. This is the S90. So let's see if it's going to be another hit. I've said this before, I'm a huge fan of Volvo's new styling. It really looks very premium and upscale compared to the Volvos of old. This one, from the front, you have a very flat, long hood that blends in really nicely with the grille and of course those signature Thor's hammer LED headlights. Now these headlights are steerable, they turn when you turn, and I know a lot of other vehicles have this feature, but the ones on Volvo, like I said in the XC90 review, they just seem like they do it a little bit quicker, allowing you to see around a corner a few milliseconds sooner. The car is quite long. This one's equipped with 20-inch wheels. Standard are 18-inch. This one also has winter tires. As you can see, this is in the dead of winter time right now. In the back, you have very stylish LED taillights, and you have a power trunk as well. The interior of the S90, absolutely stunning. This is the Inscription model, so it's a little bit fancier. Right in the center, when you look out at the windshield, you see this Bowers & Wilkins tweeter, and then the speaker grills themselves are absolutely gorgeous, but it just matches everything in the interior. Beautiful leather dash stitching. You got wood accents, even in the storage compartments here. They are so well done. You have, for your drive mode, you have this knurling, this diamond knurling. The center, very, very modern looking. You have vertical vents that basically go from the top all the way down to the bottom. And then you have a 9-inch screen in between. And below, you don't have much. You have your defrost controls, a big volume and a play knob. Huge fan of a big volume knob. The 9-inch screen took a little getting used to, but I'm thinking that I like it. You can see a lot of information on it. It's very tablet-like on this. You can swipe to the left or swipe to the right. There's 3 pages. You have your applications and you have your navigation, all sorts of things. It's loaded with technology. If we go into the first part, we have your vehicle functions. You can fold your headrest. You can this has automatic parking for pulling into a spot or pulling out. You can set that there. Heads-up display, roadside information, you name it, it's got everything. And one thing I do like is since your climate control is controlled by the screen, your climate information is always on the bottom of the screen. It never disappears. So even if I want to go to navigation, I click on navigation, it gives me my map, but my climate is always there. So there's no going into menus to try to find that. And that's a big pain that I find. In the center instrument panel, you have a 12-inch screen instead of analog gauges. The graphics are very, very clear. And the steering wheel is quite simple. You have your redundant controls for your media and for your adaptive radar cruise control. But other than that, nothing else on it. I kind of like it. And of course, these seats and the steering wheel are heated. Now, here's one thing I did notice. Since it's really cold outside, the vehicle remembers your settings. And so when I start it, it remembers what setting I had the seat and what setting the steering wheel is at. A lot of other cars, once you turn the car off and you start it up again, it doesn't remember that and you have to redo it again. So overall, like the XC90, seriously, this is like living in a really high-end Swedish apartment. It's furnished so well. Okay, into the back seat. Now the opening is quite small when you get in, but once you get in, there is a lot of room, lots of leg room, very luxurious, very comfortable seats. You have power folding headrests as well, so you can do that from the front. If there's no one sitting in the back, you can just hit a switch or basically through the center screen and they'll just fold down so you get better visibility. You have rear climate control as well as heated seats in the back. And like I said, lots of leg room. Now, if you have kids like I do, I did get 2 car seats in here, full-size car seats. They had no problem for leg room whatsoever. Very easy to attach them with those connectors as well. If your kids are a little bit bigger, you can get integrated booster seats, which Volvo came out with many years ago. And that would be a big plus once you get a little bit older. As for storage space in the trunk, we had no problem carrying anything we needed for the kids, including a double full-size stroller. Finally, we get to be inside the car where we can take advantage of these heated seats and the heated steering wheel since it's freezing cold outside. So what powers this S90? Because it's a pretty big car. Well, it's the same engine that powers the XC90, which is a 2-liter 4-cylinder, and this happens to be the T6 all-wheel drive version, so that gives it a turbo and supercharged engine. Puts out 316 horsepower and 295 foot-pounds of torque. This is definitely the way the future's going. You see more and more real high-performance 4-cylinder engines entering the market, and this one is no different. So 316 horsepower from a 4-cylinder, that's pretty impressive. What's really impressive is the fuel economy that you can actually achieve from this mid-sized car. In the city, it's rated for 10.8 liters per 100K, and on the highway, 7.6. Very, very decent numbers for a car this size, especially a luxury car. Would I like to have something bigger like a V6? Yes, I would. That's just my own personal opinion. I find that the 4-cylinders, you gotta have to work them a little bit harder, and it just kind of takes away from that luxury aspect, if you ask me. But it does have performance, there's no doubt about that. You have that diamond knurled drive mode button, you turn that, and we can go into different modes. We're gonna go into dynamic mode. There's eco, comfort, and dynamic, which is your high performance mode. And now, it changes that transmission, which is an 8-speed automatic transmission, by the way, and you have a lot more get up and go when you put your foot down. I would say if I own this car, it would probably be in the dynamic range most of the time. One thing that Volvo has been known for is their safety and their innovation. I remember driving an S90 at the time, and it had one of the very first adaptive radar cruise controls. And even back then, that was quite a few years ago, it was a very good system. Now fast forward to 2017, this S90 has all the bells and whistles. It has that adaptive radar cruise control, has a blind spot monitoring system. It has the active lane keeping assist system. It'll let you know that you're drifting off, plus it'll pull you back in. It has a feature called pilot assist. So if we engage the pilot assist, so that can work in conjunction with the radar cruise control. If we engage that pilot assist and engage that, now what we have, first of all, we also have a heads-up display on this model. Now we have a green steering wheel, and we've set our speed, and as long as the green steering wheel is active or lit up, this thing will basically kind of drive itself. So in order for that to happen, though, it has to have a clear view of the lane markings as well, because it's using a camera, radar, and sonar, so it needs all 3 things to be unobstructed in order for it to work. Right now we have the green steering wheel. I'm gonna let go, okay. It's wandering a little bit. We're getting close to the side, but no, it is. We're doing 95 kilometers an hour on adaptive cruise control, and now it's telling me to apply steering. Just like a lot of the other lane keeping assist systems that we've seen in other cars, it will only allow you to do it up to a certain amount of time before it requires some sort of input. The S90 is built off of Volvo's new scalable platform, and what's really great is that if you need something bigger, let's say you want a large SUV, go for the XC90. You want something that's more sporty and sleek, well then go for this S90. Or if you want something a little in between, like what I'd like, I want something sporty and sleek, but I want a little bit more utility, then go for the V90. The S90 has some very notable competitors like the BMW 5 Series, the Mercedes E-Class, or the Audi A6, just to name a few. But where the S90 excels is its starting price. It starts at just over $56,000, which is less than those previously mentioned 3. Of course, you can get higher trims like this Inscription, and that will run you close to about $70,000. But all in all, I think you get a lot of car for what you pay for. I think Volvo has a really good chance of having another hit with this new S90. From the exterior, it doesn't look like anything else on the road. It's got its own look. It's sleek, it's sporty, and yet it's kind of luxurious. The interior is functional, it's modern, with great materials, and then you have the performance. You get good fuel economy, by the way, you have all-wheel drive, and then you have all the safety that comes with a Volvo. And then the best thing, this S90 is less expensive than many of its competitors. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more everyday reviews, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.